I want to thank you all for joining our free webinar training class. In this webinar, I'm going to cover 3 topics. Number 1 is security, how your investment dollars are secured on a mortgage, on a piece of real estate. Number 2 is hassle free. We make it as simple as a bank certificate deposit or even investing in the stock market. Last but not least is high yields, and that's pretty much how we are able to pay you a high rate of return on investment. So a little bit about me. My name is Gary Walker. I'm the president of Walker Capital and Partners, and I was born and raised in Cincinnati, Ohio. Graduated from Lakota East and been involved in real estate since 2014. Welcome. I'm glad that you're here. Hopefully this webinar presentation get us more acquainted. I really want you to understand what we have to offer, and I encourage questions too. You can submit questions or concerns via email after the end of this webinar. Agenda. In the first part of the presentation, I'm going to take head on my private investing program that you came to see today. The second half of the presentation is the company overview. Its purpose is just for you to get to know me and the company a little bit better. Well, how does your bank make money today? Well, basically, they take money in and pay you a low CD rate. Then they loan the money out at a higher interest rate to people who buy houses, like myself. What I'm doing with my program is cutting out the banks as the middleman. So your CD investment dollars will come to me, and then I'll use the money to buy houses. This is just an overview of what we do. We buy and sell houses, and rather borrow money from the banks, we prefer to borrow money from private individuals. Therefore, we could pay them a 7% on their money. Think about it like a bank CD on steroids. How it works. We go out and we locate property, and then we borrow the money from you to make the purchase. We go to a formal closing and you get a mortgage on a piece of real estate. The availability of cash allows us to buy a house at a deep discount. This is you, the private investor, and these are the 3 documents securing your investment: a first or second mortgage depending on how much money you have to invest, a promissory note from me, and third document is hazard insurance. Here go an example of a house within our area. Pretty much we'll move the tenant buyer in, the tenant buyer pays rent on a monthly basis, and then we'll pay 7% interest to our private investor. So how do you get paid? Pretty much we pay quarterly payments of 7% simple interest, or we can pay monthly payments if you like a monthly income. I guarantee to pay 7% simple interest for a period of 5 years as long as your money invested on a particular property. This is just an example slide that shows where one of the banks in our area pay out a 3.1% interest. Obviously, we pay 7% interest, so you nearly double your investment dollars within 1 year with us. Early withdrawal penalties. Typically, a bank would charge you around $155 on a CD. With us, we don't charge any fees for early withdrawal penalties. We just ask for you to give us time to find a new investor or give us time where we could refinance the property. Private investor program, $25,000 loan example. A $25,000 loan example at 7% pays out $437.50 per quarter. This is $1,750 per year. With a bank CD that pays out 3.10%, that would be around $775 per year. This is an increase or a difference of $975 per year. Target property is around $50,000. We will rehab the house with $10,000, giving us a grand total of $60,000. We will pay the investor 7% interest on $60,000, which is about $350 a month. The house will rent for $850. The tenant basically would pay us $850, and then we'll pay our investor $350 per month for becoming a private investor with Walker Capital and Partners. But Gary, what if the tenant doesn't pay? We actually make more money if the tenant doesn't pay. We require a down payment anywhere from 3 to 10% of the price of the house. We have a very strict policy that you pretty much have to pay to stay. So if someone moves out, I'll move someone else in immediately. When I move somebody else in, I get another option fee of 3 to 10% of the price of the house. This slide is just to remind you that you get 3 documents securing your investment. Number 1 is a promissory note from me, 2 is a mortgage, and last is hazard insurance policy, all at no cost to you. Your biggest concern is protection of principal. Our number 1 rule is never over leverage property. We always buy at an 80% loan of value. That means at the time of purchase, we always buy at a 20% instant equity or even more in every single property. This is an 80% loan of value example I just want to share with you. The difference between an 80% loan and 100% sale price is my profit. I need that money when I sell the house to drive the additional cash into the company, and that's pretty much how I would get paid. If you invest below $50,000, typically you will get a second mortgage on the property, which I utilize the funds to do rehab work, etc. If you invest more than $50,000 or $50,000 plus, then you will get a first mortgage on a piece of real estate. Got IRA money? We can do IRAs and Roth investments, including 401ks. Our third-party administrator is Mid-Ohio Securities, located in Iron, Ohio. Who do we buy houses from? We buy houses from different sources. We buy houses directly from banks as foreclosures. We buy from private individuals. And from time to time, we buy houses from realtors using the multiple listing services. People who rent then buy our houses, we call them tenant buyers. These tenant buyers have been renting through my rent-to-own program, and I'm able to get these people off the rent rolls and become homeowners. What I actually do is help people achieve the American dream. I have helped people or seen people in closing with tears of joy because I helped them become a homeowner. What happens if I die? The business is structured to sell the properties. The property will be sold and your principal and interest will be paid as agreed. This is a repeat of the agenda slide. I am now moving from the first part of the agenda to the company overview. The company story. Walker Capital Partners was created in 2018 with the investor in mind and the redevelopment of single-family houses within the Midwest. Our goal is to grow the company by providing affordable housing to tenants and first-time homeowners. Walker Capital Partner is a private for-profit real estate investing company. We acquire, rehab, lease, and sell residential and at times commercial real estate. Our competitive advantage is the speed to purchase a property and the knowledge of creative real estate techniques. The speed comes from having private investors, and the knowledge comes from my years in business and me dedicating my time and continuing my education to learn creative real estate techniques. Speed and knowledge example. May 2017, we got a phone call from a seller that needed cash to help her son with his mortgage. The seller recently inherited the unwanted property, and we agreed to purchase it for $3,500. The next day, we ended up selling that same property for $10,000. This is the house that I purchased for $3,500 and sold the next day for $10,000. This house was a complete dump, literally a shack. But the guy I sold it to, he ended up putting $15,000 into the property and getting $700 to $800 a month. Walker Capital and Partner, we are a limited liability company. We do short-term hold properties and we manage our own rentals. So how to find us? You can reach out to us via email at walkergary018@yahoo.com, or you can visit us on the web at walkeracquisition.com, or you can send us a letter through the mail at P.O. Box 19505, Cincinnati, Ohio 45219. This was my very first deal that I did in Louisiana. It was 802-804 Eastland in Ruston, Louisiana. This actually started my career in real estate. Critical success factors. What make our company unique is integrity, systems, and speed of knowledge. And what makes our company successful is teamwork, driven, focus, and hard work, and dealing with other people that have a shared vision. The next step. By now, you know how this program works and how you can earn 7% starting today. Sign up today for our private meeting. We just want a chance to answer any questions you might have. Please fill out our questionnaire below. We hope you decide to join our team. Please fill out the term sheet below, and that gives me a clear indication of what you want to do as far as invest, are you undecided, etc. So fill out the term sheet to let me know.